Welcome. Welcome. If you just watched part 1 of this, welcome back. Not a series. Anyway, a couple other updates. So, leaving airline life. And if you haven't already watched the other video in my white shirt, the one right there probably, or somewhere, watch that. But if you don't know what I'm talking about or who I am, I was an airline pilot for 6 years. I'm still technically employed. That video. Maybe I want to say, I know that it's a bit of a bummer, because it's a bummer to me that I'm leaving the airlines and the airline world. It is a bummer because I loved it. It was a big part of my life, a huge part, and I loved sharing, everything on here. I was stepping away from making airline content anyway, just because it was getting a little annoying with all the political side of things. But yeah, it's a bummer. It was a chapter of my life that is now closing, and I'm not getting rid of, the experience. I can always go back. I'll just be at the bottom of the seniority at whatever airline that may be. So I'm not trying to preach that I'm making the only decision that, a new pilot parent can make. And I'm definitely not saying I was wrong, you can't have it all, because I think that you can. But my views on parenting my babies and my goals for our future with said babies, it's not a joke when people say that your perspectives change so much when you have a kid. Now it's like, I feel like I'm just trying to take care of my baby. And that's like the only priority I have. And I'm accepting that that is my new highest priority, and my personal goals of flying and my flying career, I'm not trashing that. Just because I didn't make it to retirement age doesn't mean that I didn't have an aviation career. I got a good 6 years. There's a lot of deep diving and digging and soul searching, that I've done. And yeah, I can expand on it more, I guess, if you want to ask me some specific questions. But I'd probably make this decision anyway. If I did go back to flying, I'd be like, F this, my baby needs me. You guys get it. I think I have a hard time with the idea of losing the title, because I've got a complex about being basic and boring, and being an airline pilot was something that made me feel not basic and not boring. Feeling like a stay-at-home, working from home, full-time parent makes me think I'm at risk for being basic and boring. But anyway, I will be an airline pilot till I die, and I'm keeping my CFI certs current because you'll have to rip those from my cold dead fingers. That is due in October, actually. I can still say I'm a pilot then, right? May not have a medical, but I got all my licenses. Updates. Coffee is still a thing. I took about a year break roasting and learning and reading, because I was going ham on researching, reading, learning about being pregnant, the choices I wanted to make, giving birth, the choices I wanted to make, raising a baby, and the choices I wanted to make. If you have questions about that, totally bring it. Now, baby is about to be a year old, and I'm feeling, and if you know, you know. That goes without saying for a lot of things about parenting now. I see glimpses of the light at the end of the tunnel where I can maybe kind of reclaim some of my time, maybe possibly. Maybe. So, I've been able to get back into roasting a little bit, deep diving, research mode, because now I think I don't got parenting under wraps by any means, because baby's constantly changing, right? Today's baby is not yesterday's baby. Tomorrow's baby is not today's baby. That's the gist of it, and I have embraced the suck. But when he's napping next to me, I'm on my phone researching about cottage food laws. When I'm walking him in the stroller, I'm learning about coffee roast profiles and rate of rise and charge temps. Yeah, I really like coffee. I'm still kind of limited because I'm breastfeeding the baby. I'm still limiting myself to a certain amount of ounces of coffee a day that I consume. My goal for the next bit of my life, financially speaking, we're happy. We're good. We obviously wouldn't be if me leaving the airline was a horrible thing. And I don't want to drain our money at all, and that's not the point. If I could start off with a sustained hobby and then turn it into a small side business, side hustle, I would love that, because coffee brings me joy. It also brings me energy, but just my ritual in the morning, it's a thing. I am going to be learning, refining my skill, honing it and roasting and cupping as often as I can. With that said, if you want to follow along on that journey, I want to document it here. It's really going to be slow moving considering I have a child that is under 2 years old. But yeah, that's what my next project is going to be that I'm resuming from pre-pregnancy, right? The other major update is that we are moving. And that is why I'm in a really bare ass room right now with nothing on the walls. There used to be wedding photos right here, shoe rack right here, coat rack right there. Now this is just the remnants of our home. We've put most of our stuff in storage. We leave in like 3 weeks, I think, right after the baby's birthday. I say moving, but I really don't want to use that word because I don't want to say that I'm moving to Alabama. Sorry, I'll keep my opinions to myself. We are going away for a while. We are gonna go stay with my parents for like 9 months, and then we are planning to move back. Where did this come from? Alex and I were walking the baby down by the beach one day, and out of nowhere, Alex says, I had a thought. Like, we wouldn't move to Alabama for like 6 months, would we? Like, we wouldn't do that. And I was like, yeah, why? Ew. Then we just started talking about it, like why would we do that, what would it do, and then 30 minutes later we decided that we were doing it and didn't want to wait. Initially the plan was move there after Christmas because then he would be in year 2 pay, a better pay scale, and then we'd like stay there for 6 months after being there for Christmas already and then come back and we would have saved up so much money. It's just kind of a way for us to leapfrog and be able to get out of this 2-bedroom tiny condo with almost $500 of HOA pay into a bigger place because we do want to have another child, not too soon, but sooner rather than later. We can pay off all our debts and just say we might get a rental property, like maybe in Alabama. The idea is that we'll come back and be able to buy like a bigger home or rent. We'll be able to have a bigger place. The next year, 2 years is going to be quite the journey for our little family. It's going to start off with selling this place. Alex is obviously going to be our realtor, but we need to empty this place. And so this room is really just a guest bed because my mother-in-law's here. We sold a bunch of furniture and then now it's just the remnants of things that we need to keep. We sold our bed frame. I sold the baby crib. So the baby's just sleeping in the bed with us on the floor with a rail. So for the next 9 months to a year, I will be in Alabama, roasting there. Maybe not by the end of this season, but I'm really hoping that by at least next season before we move back, I could maybe, possibly, hopefully, sell my roasted coffee at the farmer's market out there. My other goal is to be able to, and I'm still learning like the business laws, but I'd love to be able to sell it online. But it's like, I'm gonna be a super small operation, so for one thing, you know it's gonna be fresh. But farmer's market, that's going to be my first goal with the coffee. So I've been learning a lot about Alabama's cottage food laws, but besides that, I need to first focus on like learning and growing my roasting skills. But yeah, I feel like I'm rambling a little bit now. That's pretty much it for the updates. The baby is back from getting groceries now, so I'm gonna go down and feed the little baby. Thanks for watching. Send me all the questions. I'm back and I would love to pick it up, you know, where I left off. Thanks for making it here to the end of part 2. Love you.